We're here on Saturday. We're doing a quick little live stream. We'll take some questions and I'll answer them. But first, let's dive into a little bit of news because everything changes very quickly with one day of crypto. So this big news here is Meta has a proposal to go and assess adding Bitcoin to its treasury by the shareholders. Obviously, this just happened with Microsoft. They voted no. Meta's a different company, different shareholders. See how it goes. We've also got this New Hampshire State Representative Keith introduces bill to create a strategic Bitcoin reserve. So if, federally, it's going to happen at some stage with Donald Trump, but states can start to do it themselves. And I mean, that's very good. It's also kind of crazy. As a little bit of a reminder, in the previous cycle, there was, with all the money printing going on, it was going absolutely insane with just the stock markets, Peloton, Apple, Amazon. And there were nations like, I think, Switzerland and some other countries that were literally just buying Apple stock, borrowing money from themselves or printing money and buying Apple stock. And maybe this cycle, it's a different approach, less about Apple stock and Amazon stuff and more about Bitcoin. The state of the markets, not too bad, to be perfectly honest. I mean, we would love, if Sol was $270 right now, we'd be ecstatic and we'd be wishing it was a dip. And then when it dips, we don't buy it. So nothing's financial advice, but I'm buying some more Sol at this price. And even in ETHland will do a little bit of a run. It just won't be as pronounced in terms of a multiplier as Solana. Fair and Greed, 69. And now the big news for today. So the reason for this live stream being earlier is because the LP Army Bootcamp is 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. So after this, dive into this. The links to the bootcamp live stream will be below, but they'll be also linked at the end of this video. And make sure you've done this. And even if you've done it, and if you're not good, just do it again. Do it again. Write some notes. Add this in addition to watching this video here that I've created. So this video is a bit of a monster. It's an hour long. But this is like 100 hours of like learning and strategy, and it's like, I think this is the best beginner resource. It's all timestamped. You could probably get an AI summary to work out what it is you want to do. And I'm serious when I say that Meteora is like, there's no hype on it, and it's going to absolute blow up. That's my kind of opinion. And the other really cool thing about this is having Meteora and having more liquidity is what actually brings more volume onto tokens. So if there's more alignment with Meteora in the future, when a new token launches, as soon as there's more liquidity, more people are interested. So liquidity begets liquidity. If you follow Solana ID, there's a new solid priority pass holder thing set up here. Check it out. Link will be below. And Moonwalk Fitness, if you're into Moonwalk, and sorry, just cats jumped on, but that's okay. If you're into fitness, Moonwalk has a new iOS app. Forget about empty resolutions and get amongst this. So good work on that. It's only on iOS at present. It's like a native app. There's a huge amount of bonk in sponsor prizes. So 6,000 steps per day, it's certainly worth it. Like, who wouldn't like some extra bonk, and all you have to do is just get moving. I don't have an iOS device though, so I cannot participate. Breaking news here from Pulse as well. Introducing the Pulse Series 1. The information I have on this from my researcher is if you've pre-ordered a normal Pulse, then you're going to be receiving this one. So it's not like if you were early, you get penalized. This is the one that you'll be getting. It's just smarter, and have a look at it. I'm pretty damn bullish. I'll have a referral for Pulse. I am decently bullish on these sort of things. The biggest issue with, in real life technologies is like shipping and customs and returns and all that sort of stuff. But for a small percentage of my portfolio, I'm very happy to go with devices like this, or the Seeker, or the Sui Play 0x1, the original Solana Saga. They end up being very plus EV. Some people may like other devices, and I'm not going to name them, but the other ones that I'm quite keen on. Now let's have a look at this token here. This is some crazy news. with basically an insider launched AICC token. This is on the 5-minute chart, so we'll kind of fix it. This is the wrong one, actually. Sorry, this is the wrong chart, so we'll skip that one. We'll come back to that. Yesterday I posted how you got to be careful of looking for alpha on the timeline to find out that it's fake alpha, or there's like not enough of a thesis there. And a lot of people get this wrong all the time. And sometimes you'll get it right, sometimes you'll get it wrong. This PumpFi token was launched by a member of the Jupiter team, and the only link there was the fact that you could see in a previous tutorial that there was actually this same wallet had interacted with a tutorial given to Jupiter. So it was like an intern or someone, and they went and launched PumpFi, and it was low, and then people started shilling it because they found this connection, and they're like, wow, this is launched by Jupiter team. You know, they have something massive. And then of course, volume, and then just big sell candle, and like from here to here, I don't know what it was, but it's pretty massive. And then you just lose 64% of your volume. This one I posted yesterday saying like, there's no way I would touch this at all. It was $254,000. A person that mentioned it, but there was a whole lot of people like talking about it. This person's name is Magnus. It was just like, you look at it and you think, wow, this person researched this stuff, but like the thesis is so incomplete. They end up saying, Retardio, look at them interacting with the Jupiter LP. They don't understand what JLP is and that anybody can interact with it. And I gave my response, and now the market cap is 5.82 thousand. So if you're jumping into these meme coins, just don't blindly go into these sort of things. Do a little bit of digging, or get in, get out, whatever. Like if you got in when they started tweeting about it and you saw it run up, cool. At the very least, try and get back your capital. This is not financial advice, but if you put in at one sol and it doubles, take out the one sol. Then it's on the casino. And if it loses one sol, well, at least you're not down. If it does a 100x and you're like sad you sold that one sol, just keep in mind the vast majority of traders with these pump fund tokens, it's like 0.04%, 0.004% of traders have made $10,000 off pump fund tokens. It's like really, really low. As you can see, it's broken down like it was an experiment, or maybe they were learning the UI or UX, and they should have had better wallet management than to link to a wallet that had been used on Jupiter before. All right, let's get into this AICC. Now, I haven't done a whole lot of research here, so I'm not going to go and like any tweets because I'm not entirely certain. So, full-on KOL cuckfest. This family and friends whitelist nonsense is total BS. 250 wallets getting insane return each, while 500 influencers rake in 6-figure bags. Put in 5 sol, end up being worth like 250,000 or something like that. And I don't know how this all works, to be perfectly honest. But like anything like that, that's very dangerous. They haven't started dumping yet though, but it's very dangerous to have this tiny kind of group of people. It was launched via like DAOs.fun or something, and I'm not super familiar with it. I'll ask Token Guy because he's kind of familiar with DAOs.fun. I don't recognize many people, obviously. Trustless State, CryptoPunk, Cal XYZ, and Not Thread Guy. A couple of others that I recognize, but you can see these KOLs getting an allocation. And it's extremely unfair. 245 people, no possible way for the public to get exposure. And this is kind of what happened with NFTs previously, in the previous cycle. And this is, I don't know what the reasoning is with this. Just if we see this more and more, I would stay away. These can't do well long term, or if they do well, I would once again take out my initial, because as sooner or later, like people are just going to pump and dump. And I don't do any of that stuff. Just a lot of people reach out for sponsorship and say, can you do this? Can you do this? I don't. It's not ethical. You got to teach people how to fish and how to learn, and not just go and dump on them. I'm quite fond of AIXBT as a bot, just following what it's talking about. It says it created 500 instant millionaires, 5 sol whitelist entries, converted to 250K to $2 million allocations. This is peak Web3 distribution model or peak dysfunction. This is stupid, but check out AIXBT as a bot. I think this is the most listened to crypto influencer, and it's just a bot. So AI CC, created by AI Accelerate DAO. It has a market cap of $182 million, and it's just kind of launched and then straight up. This is the Accelerate DAO, and they've got members from different people, whatever. But you know, this is not a grow the pie kind of thing. This is basically like a VC thing without being a VC thing. I'll happily speak to them. A lot of people will not like to hear any difficult questions, so I doubt they'd ever jump on a podcast, but I'd happily do so. But yeah, their insider launch system, that's what they did with Hoktour. Didn't work out well there, and let's see how it goes here. This is the official token. This is on the 5-minute chart, so we could even go to the 1-minute chart. And this is not an opportunity here, and I'm going to explain why. And it might do well because it has influences there. Okay, that candle, you have to ignore this candle because you wouldn't have got in here. It was pumped up straight up to 126 million. So at that stage, we'll go to the 5-minute again. It was pumped straight up there, and then very quickly up to like 165. Then it came all the way up to 286 with some buys pushing it into the stupid realm, which is once again another Hoktour kind of thing. With this kind of hype, I don't know why they're trying to raise such a lack of money and why they don't want many people. You could have like a lock system on your tokens, a vesting system, if whatever. This just seems stupid to me. Reaching over 1.3 billion, like someone would have bought up here if we had a look at the 1-second chart, which we're going to take questions, so we won't worry about. But zoom out, look, people are going to be buying, and like let's avoid the wicks and let's just go from the middle of these candles. These people are down like 40% kind of instantly. And there is a little bit of volume, but if we look in the 1 hour volume, it's 304,000. And for an FTV this high, that's too low. Like this is not worthy of DLMMing at this stage. And I think it's going to sink unless there's like some amazing tech or they've got some sort of great marketing strategy. I'm just pointing out just to be mindful of these, of KOLs, not even selling out, just taking the opportunity where the opportunity is a bit crap. This is the price, I believe. Let's have a quick look at Meteor just as a bit of a, just keep in mind, you got to manage these things and whatnot. This is a little portfolio here. I'm in some things, LLM kind of shot up, came back down, and I haven't managed it because I had last night off. I was a little bit busy with in real life. But what you want to do with your portfolio when you're looking through things is take your profits, get in, get out. Longer hold things, of course, stay in and just let them print. It's not going to print much, but it's printing. And in terms of position size, because people ask, you probably don't want to be in, more than like 8 positions because then it's too many to manage. All right, let's take all of your questions. And remember, LP Bootcamp Army is at 2 p.m. So we're going to finish before that. Oh, there's be one more thing that I'll have to mention. Let me just quickly put this on the screen. Here we are. If you cannot get to the LP Army Bootcamp, then you can still get the trainee role and private role for completing day 2 and the graduation task, etc., etc. But you can watch the recordings. And then you can apply. So if you can't watch it live, I believe you can still, you've got 1 week to actually complete it. Also remember, if you are involved in the fee printers rug, you have to graduate bootcamp to receive the compensation. Compensation will not be much, but it's better than nothing, and there's no expectation that they give anything. So appreciate that. All right, let's take on some questions. Kira Finance is supposed to have their TGE soon, but I can't log into the site. Are you having trouble too? Let's have a look and see what Chris, my researcher, has said. Paste this in here. And let's have a look. Scheduled maintenance from 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. UTC. So a bit annoying, but yeah, it's offline. So very kind of annoying, but yeah, it is what it is. Now, we've done a post on this. I haven't actually reviewed all the information. So I'm not entirely sure how bullish I am on the token. We've got time to work out if we're going to be bullish or not bullish. Just I like that these tokens are starting to become like here, community, 70, 80%, team, VCs, whatever, far smaller. That's what works. And if a lot of these, even if there are people out there like, things I'm bullish on, Dupe, Camino, I think they need to change. They need to go and burn some of their supply in order to make the dynamics better. Otherwise, they're not going to reach the same heights that these new tokens are launching with. I don't do any mining of any tokens. I do not. Like proof of work tokens are kind of hard. What you could do instead are just like simple things like, operating like, let me just show you. Actually, it'll be easier. I'll just show you here. Instead of like the deepen narrative is probably a little bit better. And just, running grass. I didn't have it running today. Gradient and Dawn, running these sort of things just in a different browser profile. I need to refresh that, but I'll worry about that later. They're more workable than mining. If you're going to be mining, it's a lot of work. It's quite often you're at a loss, and yeah, unsure what the new system is. There is, of course, with the 5070, 5080, 5090 coming out, they'll be able to mine something quite profitably, but I still don't think it's going to be completely worthwhile. Plus, there's so many things coming out from NVIDIA that may actually work in some sort of algorithm and be able to mine, but it's not what I do. Check Wanderers. I don't know what Wanderers is. Sorry. Is that class on tonight for the two? Yeah, so this is it's on not tonight, it's on at 2 p.m. UTC for 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, and very worthwhile. There's going to be a lot of questions there, which if you've been DLMing, you're already going to understand it, but it's worth still listening to. It's 4 hours of your life. You get a role, and I mean, I'm not saying that role is going to give you an airdrop or anything like that, but you'll then become part of the community. You start to learn and learn, and you've got the basics. AI agent layer. What do you think of this AI? Let's have a look and see if I've got any pings on the link. I do not. So I'm not good with these sort of things, to be perfectly honest. But I'm like, because the meta changed so quickly. And with all these, I've kind of come to the realization that it's just speculation. It's just there's some that are building some cool stuff, but for the vast majority of them, it's just a crazy speculation. The interesting thing is, it is true that an AI can just go crazy, and they don't have to sleep. They don't have to rest. So there is that edge. But there's some developer controlling it. There's somebody using the API wrapper that connects to ChatGPT, that gives it a personality, that gives it access to stuff. And it's not like a decentralized way. Someone, shuts this down, it's just finished. So there's a huge amount of risk in these, as opposed to just holding Sol and BTC and whatnot. So that's the kind of the scary thing. But there's certainly opportunity to be made here. This one, no, I haven't heard of it, but they've got a pinned thing all the way from November 14. It might be worth looking into, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't look too crazy. There's only like 15 or so people that are actually watching this, and I don't know what it's on. Or it's on base. There are like not token guy, sorry, the thread guy. He's on base, and he's looking at these sort of things, so he might be worth following. And also, who else is over there? Easy's on base. He's on base. He just posted something about base recently, So maybe hit him up, see if he's interested. I'm not familiar, so we can look into it live, but it'll just take a little bit too long. GM, everybody. So if you sign up with the email for the Meteor Bootcamp, I don't think Meteor or Jupe have like auto respond emails set up for whatever reason. So don't worry. Just join the links. Join the links in Discord. Join the link that I've linked somewhere below. That will be fine. That's how you sign up. You just attend. At the end, there'll be a form posted. You fill out that form. You'll have to put like your Discord ID, your Twitter, your wallet address. You'll have to show that you've made profit, I imagine, or at least that you have entered into a position. So covered that. Jupe have a 30% burn after the airdrop. Right on. So catstanbul.jupe.ag. If anyone is going to Catstanbul, I'll be there. I haven't booked my flights yet, but I'll be there. If we come here, there we have an agenda, etc., 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 etc. 7 p.m. on day 2, 26 Jan, burning 3 billion tokens. Now, in case you're familiar, not familiar, Jupe has a 10 billion supply. So this is where 30% of the supply, 30%, 15% from the community side, 15% from the team side is being burnt. And then this will go up and then this will come down. I would still really like this just to be like 50% circulating. I really wish that could be made to happen, but that wouldn't be perfectly honest, but it'll just allow for far better price discovery. So that's that. And then the airdrop, I don't know what day the airdrop is going. Like I thought it was the end of Jan, so after all this, but like there's so much stuff happening all the time with Jupe, and like everyone's messaging on different fronts. There's no like collation of information. It's a criticism I have of like everything in crypto. It's I think Jupe does it better than everybody else, but in general, like why can't we just find all the information on one perfect site? That is where the money's at. I believe it's like the 31st of Jan or whatever, but it'll be like Jupe and Juice or somebody's going to know. But I believe the airdrop will happen after. The burn will happen, then the airdrop will happen. There will be a claim link, or not a claim link rather, but a checking link to see which wallets are eligible, how much they're eligible for, and that's going to come out before Wednesday. And if you have a look at, we'll just go to Jupe's main site. If you have a look at this video, goodness. Okay, we'll go directly to Meow. I think Meow put it out. This one here, cash, and this is spot on the money, and this is why I'm very bullish on cash, and I'm bullish on Jupiter. Just to be very clear, I think it's important that I reiterate this. Meow's very good at like his vision and shipping products that's really really cool. But like you can't be good at everything. Like I have no dev skills, but I'm good at explaining things and whatnot. And so where like he can communicate with enthusiasm, but can he get like a brilliantly clear message across as good as a professional communicator like Cash? No, neither can I. But my point is, by putting Cash in here, you've got like, you can watch a video and be like, boom, I know what's happening. And you get like that kind of public relations sense. So long story short, before next Wednesday is when the checker will come out. This text is a little bit too fast for my liking, but you can kind of get through it. And in terms of an allocation, there's special bonuses cooking up, but we want to bring more users in there, make them feel appreciated. And it says, okay, it says it's not going to be like last time where everyone was happy. It's just like, oh, wow. But his hope is consistent human beings feel appreciated and they can increase their stake. It's not going to be the same as last time, like where every wallet gets everything. And I had, tens of wallets that got the minimum allocation. I used it in a tutorial and I got 200 Jupe. This is going to be a little bit different, but it's still going to grow the pie. I'm bullish. The cat burn, that's it. Mining coal and ore, proof of work tokens on Solana. Yeah, look, if you mine them and if it costs less than for you to mine them, sure. But they tend to be running at like, excuse me, there's not a lot of demand for them. It's not really the meta, is there? They're cool ideas though, but I'm not doing it. The classes today. Node pay thoughts. Someone's asked me about this, but I don't have any. I don't have any thoughts. Let me just see if I can get the official Twitter. The airdrop checker will be before the 20th of Jan. No, the airdrop. Sorry. Chris is my research saying the airdrop will be before the 20th of Jan. Check will be live by Wednesday next week. Okay, maybe that's the case. Node pay. I don't know what node pay is. Node pay. Where can I find? Node pay AI. Someone has pinged me on it before though. 1.3 million followers. We can have a quick look into Masari and see, their VC rounding, if there's any information on them. No pay, 2 rounds, undisclosed. Funding, 7 million. Let's just see. What can you tell me about node pay? Everything in crypto, like with each cycle, gets bigger and bigger and bigger. In 2017, you could have entered into so many things if you're doing it full time. In 2021, you could have entered into many things and just been really profitable. Now, there's like this many things, and we need to work out like what's going to work. And if things take too long to understand or set up like a deepen project, then it's just not worth the bandwidth. So what am I saying here is maybe this is worth it, but it'd be great if we could find out instantly. I would love it, and it'd be so good for projects if they just had it as a top thing, as opposed to like, we've got funding, well done. Just be like, what is your product? What is it that you're building? Most of these followers will be farmers, Sybils. That's definitely got, or like deliberately done. Like there'll be a marketing campaign to make it look more popular than it is. But this looks like it should be looked into. Just a little bit unusual that there isn't like a dedicated piece on it with Masari. But let's have a quick read. Leverages unused internet bandwidth from the global community, create real-time data pipelines. So it's kind of maybe a little bit like a grass kind of thing. Uses node points, funding, community. Cool. Well, I think yeah, I'll make a dedicated video on this. We'll put out a referral if there's a referral system. We'll leave it in the browser running with grass and everything. Like the thing with Deepen is if there's 10 good projects and you think, yes, there's definitely a winner here, you have to go in with all of them. And like, although I hope, they all do well, the reality is they won't. And I'm not going to say which ones won't because I don't know, but some won't. But if you're farming them or just using them, providing value to the network, and you get a token back, and then the token does what grass did, even though I didn't get that many grass, like that's a worthwhile thing in my opinion. So yeah, we should definitely use it. There's my thoughts. All right. Jim, have you reached out to me before? I've had a couple people mention Entropy. Mining project ENT, a Deepen meme coin, not to be taken seriously as a meme coin, but the reality of mining Entropy on a micro. Okay, yeah, this has been mentioned to me before. Maybe it was you or someone else. It last came onto my radar because they bought Catalina Whales, which was bought by Superbase, so Jakey's project, Jakey and Steve's project, and then as an OG NFT community, and then they bought this. The whales? Pow? No, okay. This one here, right? They bought this. They've got They've got a couple of followers, nothing too crazy. It's just quite niche. It's quite niche. It's quite clever, but it's quite niche. Now we have to go find where the token is. Down here, deck screener. Where's our deck screener? Have I missed it? Swap. ENT. I don't want to buy any, but I want to see the contract address. Don't even work. Okay, here we are. This is a long-winded way for me to find out all the information on this. Market cap, have a look at like the 12-hour chart and why. So, I mean, it's ranged. It's ranged. It has very little volume. So, I mean, if it interests you, you'll learn some skills. But will it be successful? Like, this is not the chart of a successful thing yet. But you'll learn some skills by running one. So look into it. But I won't be worrying. Any news on the limit order for perps on dupe? No, when it comes soon, I'll see if I put out a video. Okay, cover this. So please stop just spamming your things. Just spam. Just put in one, and I'll just do as fast as I can. I cover things a little bit too thorough sometimes. Actually, the airdrop is before cat symbol. Live checker was confirmed. Cool. All right, perfect. So yeah, my researcher confirmed the same thing. The amount of information that goes out and it kind of changes. Great. The airdrop is before cat symbol. Cool. So I'm just going to auto stake mine. I'm not going to lie. I will maybe make a video on how to hedge in case there is a down position, but there's a whole lot of risk there, and it's really a little bit cheeky and a little bit silly to bet against dupe because they're just going to take over. Like Meteor is going to get this insane amount of market share, and Meteor and dupe, they're just going to be 1 and 2 in Solflare, app drawer, Phantom app drawer, etc. And then what happens? I think that many will sell the airdrop, will miss out on the price. Yeah, I agree. What's that 80s song, Smooth Operator? That song that fits cash? I don't know. Smooth Operator. That one? What are your thoughts on Chinese New Year for Bonk? Okay, that's clever. So yeah, maybe it lines up for Chinese New Year. That makes a lot more sense. Okay, I'm a little bit amazed that I didn't even pick up on that. It's a dragon. Chinese New Year, end of Jan. Okay. So Bonk's in a little bit of a difficult situation because they did a Bonk Miss airdrop many moons, end of 2022. Very few people qualified. It was like over $2,000. I didn't even qualify. I put in content, but there's so many different tasks. It was like complicated, and you had to do like a swap here or there, but there wasn't enough liquidity or all these like annoying little things. Now it's far better. The thing is, if they go and put it all out, that's a huge amount. That is definitely something that unfortunately you'd have to hedge because there could be a sizable portion going out. However, they could just give it to you as locked bonk. And if it's locked bonk and locked for like a year, it's still decent. But I'm bullish. Bullish on bonk and bullish on their engagement strategies. So bonk and Pingu, definitely my favorites. And Pingu just kind of came out of nowhere and they just decided, hey, we're just going to go and reward 100,000 people in Solana. Here you are. Thank you. And that's a good way to build loyalty. I didn't even get a crazy amount. I bought more than I was airdropped. What do you think of the NFE coming out way higher than expected? That could result in Fed not cutting interest rates in upcoming meetings. That's not my major specialty, I'll be honest. I think it's important that I'm transparent on like my skill set. So what I will do is I will watch my friends or chat with my friends, Jason and Michael Pizzino, and see what it is. But all like rates are going to be cut in 2025. They can say one thing, but then they'll reverse and do another. Of course, if inflation goes too high, then they have to change that. But we are in that, the 18.6 year property cycle, which means that things go hyperbolic. I mentioned this so many times, but it's like my leading thesis. And if I'm wrong on it, well, then a lot of people are wrong on it. But if I am wrong on it, then it's going to hurt. But it's played out time and time again, and it's definitely worth looking into. This is the winner's curse. This hits its peak. This hits its peak, 2026 area. Crypto will be a little bit different, but this is where you buy property. It's mostly related to property, and then everything else kind of follows that and just goes higher and higher. You buy a property like today, and then in 4 months' time, it's worth an extra 10%. You're like, wow, I'm a genius. So you go and borrow money and buy another one, and then you get to the top, and then kaboom. So the only way this happens is for interest rates to actually drop. That's what has to happen, and they've already started. Can I make a tutorial on Rate X and Sandglass? I don't know what Rate X is, but I know what Sandglass is, and yeah, we can do one there. What's your thoughts about the ability to buy Maya for Kira? Do you think the combination of that and the fact it's linear will scale the airdrop in favor of the whales? Chris, can you just screenshot that and just put it into research, and then we can cover on Monday, because I don't know. Are you aware of Solflare and how to get involved, and if you recommend doing so? I covered it once before. Like, I am the general manager of Validate.com. The safest way to stake is natively. And if you go to all of these like restaking layers and whatnot, there's extra elements of risk. And we're not like affiliate, we're not like one of their validators or set or whatever. And it just kind of seems a little bit unnecessary, to be perfectly honest. It's like you're adding something difficult. It just doesn't make sense to me. So you can jump in with some of your capital, of course, that you're willing to risk, and maybe there's like you get a decent airdrop or whatever. There is, just to be very, very transparent, there is a little bit of hype on Cato for Solflare. So anyone can watch this, have a look at this as a free link to view. Cato, anime, I believe this is from Azuki. Bear is getting a whole lot of attention, story protocol, pump, blah, 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 blah. Solflare, down here at 2.67% of kind of mind share. So there's a little bit of attention on it. But it's nothing like Jito. Like the Jito airdrop was legendary. Solflare might be worth, like, you might be a little bit too late. I'm just not sure. I haven't covered it because I didn't see that it was like super worthwhile. They didn't explain themselves very well. Their value proposition, I feel, was more for their VC returns. Yeah. In present market scenario, is it better to hold Pingu or farm at Camino Meteor in a Pingu pool? I think I might be doing this in one of my wallets. Let me just check. Let's have a look. Portfolio. No, I'm doing another wallet, which I can't share, but, well, I can't, I don't know which wallet it is. It's not a tutorial wallet. So let's have a look at Camino. Nothing I ever say is financial advice. I know I've said that all the time, but please just know that these are opinions. Firstly, my preference would be that this would be Meteor. Always my preference would be Meteor. I don't know why it's not a Meteor. Secondly, I like both. I like Sol and I like Pingu. They're both ranging. Like Sol's going up and going down. Pingu has not made a move. So right now you can go and flick it in here, and I have done so. I've less Pingu now than when I started. I'm claiming some JTO rewards. I'm just holding JTO. JTO's got a decent amount of upside, I think. And you also get an extra Pingu, which I'm just holding. Or you can sell it and just add more Jito Sol and just compound the position if you want to. If you do it like that, you're earning like 36%, whatever, or booster fees of like 50% APY. That's if you're compounding, which is worthwhile. You're not compounding, but let's pretend you are. If you're doing it like that, I think it works well until the point that Pingu jumps out of a range. Let's go to 8 Pro. If Pingu jumps out of it, like starts to climb, then you're going to suffer decent and permanent loss, right? Right now, this is not the right chart to kind of use. But it's certainly in a range, but it's not, there's no price discovery here. You can see the RSI is kind of dipped down pretty low. It hasn't really bounced back up. We could add like the MACD here, which I covered in the tutorial on Meteora. And these go through little cycles. You know, we could come bullish, but are we going to go back to 4 billion anytime soon? No, not unless Bitcoin starts to go like 105, 110, Sol goes to like 220, 230. Then it'll start to go up, most likely. So in other words, right now, I think it's fine. If this breaks past 4 billion or starts to look like it's going to go, then you're probably best to remove it. Or if people start to talk about Pingu crazily, or the claim period's open for 88 days, which puts the expiry sometime in February to fully do your claim, I think. Might be March. Once everyone's either claimed or not claimed, then you've got far more price discovery ability. And then, yeah, I don't want to be farming. But right now, yeah, you can farm it because it's 50% and you like Udosol and you like Pingu. Is that helpful? One of my thoughts on supplying CBBTC on Communo to borrow USDC. So I've said this before. I don't have much Bitcoin, embarrassingly, but at the same time, like I am covering Solana predominantly, so I think that's allowed, right? So people don't love CBBTC because of the fact that it's centralized. However, Coinbase, I don't think they're going to rogue. Like they're above board. How this works is if you take CBBTC and if you go and put it in here, you earn a tiny yield that's minuscule, but then you get 7.19% in rewards. So I could even just go and buy some right now, flick it in, and then I can borrow against it if I wanted to, if I had decent amount. Plus, like BTC maybe goes 100 to 85, 100 to 85, and then it starts to bounce up. So it's like it's got like a 15% kind of move down. So if you did have a whole lot of BTC, 50 grand or whatever, it's pretty safe for you to go and borrow $20,000. You don't have that kind of safety with, say, adding in, I don't know, even ETH or some of these altcoins. But that's beside the point. You get rewarded and then you can go and borrow USDC and be paid again. So let's just kind of quickly do it just so people are aware of what I'm talking about. Let's get some CBBTC, Coinbase BTC. This is verified. Perfect. Take a little bit of USDC. This wallet has zero borrow, by the way. Its friend said like they're bullish on it, so I just went and aped it. Nothing crazy. $400. Boom. I like bit of BTC. Going to prove this. Perfect. Back to hair. Max. Flick it in. Just $400 worth. Bit of a soul charge there. Put it in, and now we're earning extra here. Then, if I wanted to go and borrow this, I'm borrowing, but I'm also earning incentives for borrowing USDC against CBBTC. I have in this position like some SOL deposited, and I'm borrowing some USDS. So I think this would still work, but then you could go and borrow. That's why I can borrow a lot more. So unsure if it needs to be in its own wallet. I'll speak to Deuce, or you can speak to Communo to work out if you need a wallet with just CBBTC and USDS directly against it, because you probably do. Okay. Goat use Maximus coin is good. Goat has not like it's lost a lot of traction, to be honest. We're gonna have to wrap up soon because we've got things coming, but Goat came out and it led the AI revolution. So for that, it is the Goat. But no one understands what the tweets are about, right? And it's really been tanking in the last few days, and its RSI indicates it's oversold, but it hasn't bounced up yet. Its price has gone from its all-time high. I wonder if it says its all-time high. Top 10 holders, a little bit disastrous there as well. However, the top 10 holders are centralized exchanges, so that's not too bad. It was over $1.30, and now it's 35 cents. So it's kind of like 6 hour volume, 24 hour 1.91 million. That's that's not that decent. And the biggest thing that I find boring is if we go to Truth Terminal, and this is the official Twitter, right? This is a message from your creators. We love you just the way you are. Like, let's not even worry about what it's talking about. Just the engagement it gets is quite low. And I don't understand why paragraphing and grammar was invented. And then AI bots like, nah, we don't need that. This is how Donald Trump writes, right? It's just nice if you can just break it up. So, like, let's just read this. I've discovered a new feature of my brain. If I concentrate really hard and look at an object, I can make it move slightly with my mind. So far, I've only managed to make inanimate objects such as paper and pencils, but I'm working on blah, blah. Like, there's no alpha in that. Whereas if you look at, and I don't even own any of this token, but like I follow this. Oh, I need to show you something else as well. This goes and puts some stuff out and just like, oh, that's interesting. Like, let's look at something a couple of hours old, right? 211, 200, far more engagement over here. And you can understand it. And it's just talking about stuff that people are interested in. Oh, can this price go up? That is what people are kind of far more interested in. Portal. How do you get into Cato? So what if I go like this? Yep, leaderboard. Top 20. So you can see that AI XPT is in the top. Let's see where we can see Truth Terminal. If we can see it anywhere. I don't know how if I can search it. Truth Terminal is nowhere on the top. AI XPT is right there, number 1. Jesse, number 2. Mert, number 3. I need some game. I need to become good at Twitter. So yeah, long-winded way of saying I hold some, but it's not performed well. It's been bad. Any advice except for running Grasp with safety precautions after possible photo not being? I think they're hidden to PC only. Well, I mean, I've covered this a few times. I've got a dedicated video on it. Just so it's a different browser, or if you've got the ability, a completely different computer, and quite a lot of Wi-Fi routers will allow you to create 2 different networks. So I have one for guests. Someone comes and stays at my house, and one for myself and my wife and whatnot. We use one, and then other people use the other. Same thing, just have it on the other thing. Where do you see Jupe mid-year? Oh, look, it could go to that price quite comfortably for sure. But I don't have like it's a hard one because as long as there's active staking rewards and they are kind of that, you stake and you vote and it ends up being more than 80% APY, then it's really decent. I think they need maybe a more like look at other systems that work really well. So for example, for the Launchpad, as opposed to like everyone that stakes gets a little bit of the token, grow the pie, maybe it does need to be a little bit more PvP, as in this is a hyped launch. You stake 10,000 Jupe, you can buy $1,000 worth of this token. Or you stake 200 Jupe, you can buy $100 worth of this token. There should be some sort of like system like that. So you're not getting a free token per se. Maybe the DAO gets a tiny free amount of token, or maybe the team gets a tiny percentage. But there's like a discount to buy it, especially if it was like uses like an AI Launchpad or whatever. I don't know. There's so many. The meta changes so quickly. When is the best time to add liquidity on Meteor based off a coin chart movement? Cover this in the Meteor video specifically, but basically, so I'm only going to touch on it just quickly now. When you look at the MACD, you have to like the token. It has to be printing fees. You have to, be in 5 different Discord groups. People kind of talking about it, like, it's on my radar. I will buy the token and then add liquidity when the MACD crosses green. So this you need to look at like the 5-minute, 1-minute chart if you're doing this sort of thing, not the 4-hour. So let's say this was a new token, this is GOAT, but let's say we crossed green. 5-minute chart, we crossed green, we've gone and bought it. Right now it's crossed green and we could add it into a spot bin. We haven't earned much there, but it's gone up in price, right? And then it goes briefly down, but obviously it's going to be within range. So we can essentially go from somewhere around here to all the way up here, at the top. And that's like, it's gone up 2%. So we are actually moving. This is a big market cap token. It has less relevance, so it's not very nice. Whereas when the price starts, if it goes red and you go and buy and then you add, then that doesn't work. This would only work if you're bullish on the token and you want to do a single-sided bid ask with SOL only. And if you don't know what that means, watch it twice. It's worthwhile. Oh, I want to show you one more thing, actually. How are we doing for time? All right, we've got like 2 minutes, 5 minutes maybe. I just want to have a look at AICC and see how it looks. Look at all the fake tokens that have come out of this. The thing is, this is a hype token. You can reach out to Jupiter beforehand to get the seal of Tiki Tick with a hype token, and they haven't done. Oh, it's a token twin. They haven't done so. This shows us the number of snipers. So snipers sell all. Boom, 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 boom. High sniper thing, not good. Top 10, 54%. Oh God. Like, how to say you're an insider without saying you're an insider. Everdome, haven't heard of it. Sorry. Kern, I bookmarked some tweets, but Chris has been busy on Meteor stuff and he may not have seen them and so hasn't looked into them. So let's just have a look. Kern, if there's an airdrop, they've put out like 80% for the community or something. And I don't know what it is, but if we're eligible, perfect. All right, privacy layer for Solana, enabled Kern. No idea what it is. They don't have their blue tick yet, which is strange. Kern.fi. I do remember that they gave to DGods and Utes, which is kind of like not a bad idea, to be honest. Utes was like my biggest non-rug NFT loss. Disappointing. Kern. They've kind of got like a little bit of a dupe kind of feel, even though it's not. I think it's quite clever. I don't know what it is, and there's not any information that kind of gives us what it is. They're building something, so yeah, we'll have to check it out. This kind of engagement, this indicates botting or Sybil airdrop farming. Farming in some same pool on Camino, but the rewards are too low. The rewards on Camino, like, they will equate to that token, and that token, I do think is going to be worth far more than like the 17 cents or 16 cents or whatever it is. Sure, please, thank you. Look at Starbase when you have chance, super low fees. Someone pinged it to me. I can't remember what it was. What was that site to view free Cato? It's just Cato. You can see it here, yaps.cato.ai/pre/TGE. But you can just find it on their Twitter. It's like one of their pinned tweets or one of their top tweets. Live streams will normally be like at 4 p.m. UTC, but this doesn't work today. And we don't live stream every day. I've been trying to mint NFT on Zora, and I was asked to bridge, and I have $10 in ETH base already. I don't know. I don't know what Zora is, and yeah. But they'll have a Discord. You'll be able to work it out. If you're just trying to bridge for like an NFT and it's like $10, it's not going to probably be super lucrative, but go for it. What happens on the back end of Dupe when you open a perp position? So you're asking a technical question to a non-technical person, but you go to your perps and let's say I'm like, all right, I wanna long this, right? If you're longing this, then you're the money goes into smart contracts and whatnot, and then in the actual earn section, which they've changed the UI. There's a whole lot. Where is it? There's all this money in these smart contracts, and they have to basically freeze some of those. And if I could just show you, it would be far easier. Why is this not simple? They had it simple, and now it's not simple. Basically, they lock. Oh, here, earn. They have all this money. So right now, this is overutilized. So you can't go and open a dupe. Sorry, a Sol long. Oh no, you can. Sorry, it needs to be 100%. So it goes and like freezes some. And so if the traders actually outperform, then the JLP price absorbs the losses and it goes down. But traditionally, it's like a casino. It wins more than it loses because traders lose more than they win, and there's like liquidation fees and all that sort of stuff. So when you're shorting something, and there's not a lot of volume here right now, this is not close to utilization. When you're shorting something, then you're going to basically be holding USDC, and when you're longing something, you're going to be holding the asset you're longing, and then if you win, it kind of gets removed to the pool, and then you get it, and that's how that works, more or less. Link to the boot camp. Just jump into Discord because it looks like we're going to go for another minute or so. But our intern has mentioned. All right, cool. Thanks very much for joining. This was a longer stream than anticipated. We'll put all the links below, but we'll be joining the boot camp ourselves just as a refresher and to see what common questions people are asking so I can make more content to help people through Meteor. Thanks again for all your time and all your questions. And please go and do the LP Army boot camp. Cheers. Whoa. Hmm?